Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Gregory Martin, aka the Super Producer, and we're back with another review. Now before we get into the video, please don't forget to smash that like button, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. It keeps you notified whenever I post a new video, and it also helps the channel grow. And with that being said, let's just jump right into today's review. And today we're reviewing the much talked about, the much delayed movie Tenet, directed by Christopher Nolan and with an all-star cast starring John David Washington, Robert Pattinson, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Sir Kenneth Branagh, and Sir Michael Caine. Now before I get into the review, I have to just big up AMC theaters for being able to reopen during this time. You know, honestly, I just didn't think they were ever going to reopen back up this year, but I'm really glad that they were able to reopen. I felt extremely safe. I felt like me and the other moviegoers at the theater really respected the social distancing and the mask wearing. You know, it was a little bit different, but after a while I kind of forgot that the mask was even there. The only time I noticed I was wearing a mask is when I had to pull it down to eat my popcorn and drink some water. But other than that, I think AMC created a really great atmosphere to return, and I'm looking forward to going to see many more movies even under these circumstances. So kudos to AMC and kudos to those who watched the movie with me. With that out of the way, let's just get back into what you guys came for. So leaving the theater, from the opening scenes to the end of the movie, my mind was just constantly like churning. The wheels were constantly churning. My immediate thoughts after watching this film, two things. First of all, I cannot wait to see Robert Pattinson play the Batman. He is such a great actor. And secondly, this may be the most complex movie I've ever watched in my entire life. It reminded me of watching Inception for the first time, how I felt. And this film, to me, is like Inception on like speed. It's just insane, the concepts of this movie. So Tenet is about a secret agent who embarks on a dangerous mission through time to prevent the start of World War III. The movie centers around this character, simply known as the protagonist, played by Washington, who is introduced to the concept of time inversion. Now, don't kill me in the comment section if I don't nail this, all right? If you want a thorough breakdown of time inversion and all that jazz, this is not the review for you. I'm still trying to understand that myself. But according to Wikipedia, time inversion is a theory which describes events in which time runs backwards. So in theory, if you're able to invert yourself, in theory, you can step into events of the past and experience those events with the knowledge of the future. Now in the movie, time inversion has gone from theory to practicality when a Russian billionaire named Andrei Sater, played by Branagh, has been given the knowledge of how to create inverted material from someone in the future. The part of the protagonist is to get close enough to Sater and prevent him from collecting all of the pieces needed to create the algorithm, which if completed will allow the user to reverse the world's entire entropy, thus wiping out existence. Now there's a ton to unpack with this movie. There are a ton of theories that I've never heard of, a lot of different concepts that I have never heard of that really makes the storytelling very interesting. One theory or paradox that they mention a lot is a concept called the grandfather paradox. And the grandfather paradox is a very simple idea that if a person travels back in time before the grandfather has children and kills them, it would make that person's birth impossible. And what the film grapples with in part is, what if that person actually does that? What if the person goes back in time and messes up the timeline, the effects that it has on their future or the future of the entire world for that matter. Like, this film has so much of stuff like that, like typical Nolan stuff, that you're definitely going to like go on like a Google binge, Wikipedia craze, just like Googling things and researching things that you really would have never thought about, because I know I did. And I'm not going to fake the funk like I understood everything in this movie. Like, I didn't. I may have understood maybe 40% of this movie the first sitting, and then I just really looked at all these different theories, explain videos, and some of the stuff makes sense, but I have to watch this again to really get everything that I totally missed in this one. The word Tenet is a palindrome, which is a word, phrase, or sequence that reads the same forwards as it does backward. And that is another concept that is very present in this film. This is a spoiler. Tenet is actually the words 10 and 10 forward and backwards. And 10 has a very significant importance to this film. It represents the amount of time at the end of the film that the protagonist and his team had to prevent what say they're detonating the algorithm. And also that word palindrome, like I said earlier, it represents sequences that are the same backwards and forwards. It really captures this film. The film starts at a point that you think is the beginning of the film, and you see the events at the beginning and the events at the end of the movie kind of coming back full circle. So Nolan really took these concepts that he wanted for this film and really hammered those ideas. I would pay a reasonable amount of money to really see all of his notes, to see how he was able to keep everything together, make sure that all of his loopholes were closed, make sure everything made sense, all of his scenes made sense. The writing and the creation of this story. I think that in itself would be like a great masterclass in filmmaking. Like for me, I think that's probably the most impressive thing that I took away from this film, was just the attention to detail. Everything seemed like they were supposed to be there, and that's just kind of what we come to expect when we watch a Nolan film. I really enjoyed this film, and really what watching it in theaters meant in the bigger picture. Like, this is definitely one of those films you cannot see for the first time on your laptop or your 50-inch TV. Like, it has to be in the big format. Like, maybe not IMAX, but you have to watch it in theaters. That's the only way to experience this movie the first time. But even with me enjoying the film, it didn't feel like a typical Nolan film. You expect the big actors, the big set pieces, some smart dialogue, a well-crafted to damn near perfect script, and a great score to go along with the visuals. And you have a lot of those elements in this film. But from a technical aspect, it felt a little different for me. And the most glaring part of that feeling was the score. I think for Nolan's past 3 or 4 movies prior, I think Hans Zimmer scored the film, and I read somewhere that Hans Zimmer couldn't score this film because of scheduling conflicts, and so he had to go with another route. Don't get me wrong, the score is not bad. It really gives almost an essence of a Hans Zimmer score, but it was just missing something. I noticed it immediately, and it kind of took me out in the beginning because I was just that's different. That is not doesn't sound familiar to me. And another thing that I noticed, and it's one of these things that bothers me watching Nolan's films in theaters, is that I feel sometimes the sound design is way too loud over the vocals sometimes. I cannot understand what the actors are saying. And I think some of it is because a lot of the cast is international, so you hear these different accents and words sound differently. But I just could not understand what they were saying, and I missed certain exposition points that really could have helped me understand the story quicker. It reminded me of when I went to go see Interstellar. There were certain scenes I just did not understand until I got home and was able to view it with subtitles on, that I got what the actors were saying. And I say this now, and maybe it's something that I won't fully appreciate until I actually own it. This is one of these films that I definitely cannot wait to get the extra material for this film. All the digital extras that you would get on a DVD, you know, deleted scenes, stuff like that. I need to see everything. I need all of that to really complete this like movie going experience for me. Well, those are my thoughts on the movie Tenet. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. I hope I didn't spoil it too much for you guys. For those who did see the movie already, let me know what you thought about the movie, what you thought about the whole time inversion thing, just anything. Just leave a comment down below. And as always, don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.